I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Yes, welcome. Are you hearing me? Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host, Man in His Man, and we have a next one, a new one, a fresh one for you, another one for a JPL show. Yes, the JPL, this round was completed today, so we're going to give you scores galore in the JPL, and we had some beauties. As the fifth round was completed, some beautiful goals were scored in this fifth round in action. Big teams suffered loss. Yes, and some drop points. Some teams continue to play well but fail to score. We're going to talk about that. So jump on in. Yes, man, and say something for your team. That a boss in the building. Waterhouse for sure. That a boss, your team lose, big boss. We're going to talk about that Gunners boss, the junglist. May I tell ya? Yeah, the junglist in the building. Which team do you support, people? Let us hear, let us know. Where are the Clarendonians? Yeah, where are the people from Chop City over there in Montego Bay, Mobay United? Where are the people from out east? You don't know Harborview is a beast. Yeah. What about the Cavaliers? You don't know. Yeah. What a go on. What about the people them from the cool hills of St. Anne? Mount Pleasant it is. Yeah. What about TG? You mean? What a go on. Cool. All right, that a boss, the Mount Pleasant time team. All right, boss. Sorry about that. But you don't know, that the courthouse up there in Brownstown was burned flat to the ground, so there's major investigation going on. They're checking out to see if it was a case of arson or it is just fire of unknown origin. I don't know. I wasn't there. Yeah, but we don't know if it caught fire or it was set on fire. We shall hear. People, remember, you can hit the like button. You can also subscribe to the platform. The super chat is working and super sticker. So if you want to make a contribution for the work that we're doing here at I Am Sure Sports, you can do that. It's not a problem. We appreciate that. Want to say a big thank you to our sponsors, Prestige Finance, lending a helping hand when you need it most. If you need to borrow up to $100,000, you can reach out to Prestige Finance. Let them know that you heard about them from I Am Sure Sports. And here is what they will give you: up to $100,000. Listen, same day processing, 0 to 4% interest rate and no processing fee. Call them at 876-884-7390. Also, we have on board with us Launch Legacy. Launch Legacy is where they help you to handle risk and to seek a legacy. So for all your personal insurance needs in Canada and the USA, visit them at launchlegacy.com. Launchlegacy.com. One word, or call or text them at 647-989-0782. And Patrick Reed will be there to help you. In fact, they did a webinar, financial webinar on our platform on Thursday. Listen, people, you have to check it out. It was super, super fantastic. A lot of information that you need to get. Listen, also, in March, the second Thursday in March, we're going to have Launch Legacy again, working with, we're going to have a special guest from the Bank of Jamaica, and they're going to be sharing with us about budgeting and looking at how sportsmen and women can benefit from creating better budgets to manage their finances. So that's the second Thursday in March. Make sure you stick and stay right away. Mullines Road in the building. Brian Myton. Oh, you mean, man? Mullines, yeah, man. Yes, people. But before we get into the JPL action, you'd have read in the newspapers on Sunday an article that with a request for the leadership, the president and the leadership of the GFF to step down, demit office, to resign, however you want to do it. All right. Yeah, that is what was in the article on Sunday, and 3 persons were quoted in there: Ali McNabb, Ambassador Stuart Stevens, and Tony James. Listen, these are 3 persons I have a lot of respect for. Ali McNabb, heard great stories about him. Never had the privilege of seeing him play. Former Cornwall College student. Heard that he had a lethal strike with the right foot and the left foot. He played at Boys Town and also represented the national team. Tony James has been out there in Mandeville, has been a major contributor to Jamaica's football. He runs the Las Perfectos. His son runs the female team there. He was a former president. He tried to become the president of CONCACAF. Don't know if you remember that. And he wasn't supported by that JFF. Then Ambassador Stuart Stevenson has always been around the football, works out there with Harborview. He was the president of CASAFA and has actually gone up in a couple of elections, and he has lost. All right. Now, everyone is free to their opinion. I have a lot of respect for these guys, right? All 3 of them, I think they mean well and they want to see the football improve. But I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion is simply this. Part of the issue with the football is that how our selection process has created our leadership problem. So here's what I don't want. I don't want people who have been in the system, people who run the system, people who were part of the system to really demand that people step down with a hope of getting back into the system. All right? Let me say it again. Everything rises and falls on leadership. This failed campaign, at the end of it all, it stops with the leadership, the administration, and it trickled down to coaching staff, to players. There we go. All right? Because everything rises and falls on leadership. All right? But you have to understand this. Number one, 75 is the cutoff age. So I think Ali McNabb is around 74. So FIFA don't allow that. So he can't be a president of the football. It's not going to work. All right. Tony James, Ambassador Stuart Stevens. I think, listen, you know what I think? When Captain Horace Burrell came on that second time, when Boxhill lost to Captain Burrell, at that point, I believe the best person to have taken Jamaica's football forward was Stuart Stevenson, and he was not supported. I don't know what happened, but at that time, Ambassador Stuart Stevenson should have led the football that time. The same thing I believe with Tony James. When he was taken out of the football, he should have been given. But the same people vote him out. These are the same people in the football. All right? So here is my suggestion. People, my suggestion, my opinion. We soon get to the JPL because this is important. You're going to see it affect the JPL because we're coming down to the JPL point standing. The election for the presidency is due in November. It cannot go beyond November of 2023 unless there is a major worldwide catastrophe. Here is what I want to see. You see anybody, including the present administration, if they desire to lead the football, they need to show evidence. We're not putting anybody back. Well, the people who have the right to vote should not vote anybody in who has not proven to the populace that they can do the work, and we see the work. So, whoever wants to take up the mantle must prove that they can carry the workload. I need to see you doing it now. I don't want you to get into the office and then tell me that you're going to work. I don't want to see only your vision and your plans. I want to see your actions right now. I want to see what you are doing now. Therefore, if you want to be the president or whatever position, but the election is due in November, start working now. Start going into the trenches, working at doing grassroots stuff. Do what you can. Use what you have to do what you can to create the leverage to get the votes. This thing where we just put people just go around close up to the election and say, all right, yeah, you know what? Vote for me because here's my plan. Here is my oh geez, how could I forget that? You know, it's not your vision. What do they call it again? Oh Lord, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Show me your, what is your, oh geez, I was just about to say it, you know. Like, you know, when you have your plan for the future, somebody tell me the word, no, man. Show us your, is it, what is, oh geez, brain freeze. Your manifesto, hey. Mario Minto, you're bright. You're bright, Mario Minto. Brian might need, you know, really have it, man. Second place you come, man. Bet you didn't make somebody else answer. Brian, Mario Minto, you have it. Your manifesto. Here's the thing. I not only want to see your manifesto, I want to see a manifestation of your work. Because here is what. If you are going to wait until you get in there to start do things, it's not going to work. The truth is there are certain things you cannot do until you get the position. But there are many things you can do. And when you do them, I need to know. The people need to know. Jamaica needs to know what you're doing. We need to know. Start running some stuff. Start establishing some academies. Start doing some grassroots stuff. Start formalizing systems where the local players cannot. Start doing those things. Start doing what you can in the parishes. When you understand that, the people are tired of people just turning up and then we don't know what they have done. We don't know from whence did you come? From where did you come, man? Come on. So the election, let me tell you again, people. The election are constitutionally due by November 20. That's not too late. If you become the president in November 2023, you have 2024. The World Cup campaign don't start yet. So you will still get the entire World Cup campaign to manage. Start putting in the work now. Yeah, man, we're tired of the politics, man. Of people going, I don't want to see no pretty manifesto. And then if you don't have a manifesto, I don't want to see. Listen, one, you need to have a manifesto, but you need to have a manifestation right now. A right now manifestation. What do I mean by that? You need to be putting in the work right now. And here is what, people. All of you who live in a parish, all of you live in a one parish. Here's what. And you talk football. Become part of the executive of one of these clubs. Tell them that you want to be the secretary or you want to be a PRO. Get connected to a club and try to influence the vote, because it is the clubs who vote for the parish presidents. Find out where the parish president's allegiance lie. When you find that out, you try to influence and change. You have to get in the system to fix it. You cannot be an observer. So I'm challenging all of you who are saying you cuss the administration. You have from now up to November 2023, to make the change. In fact, your parish elections are going to be before that election. Find out when your parish election is. Go up for the presidency. Go up for the parish vice presidency. You can nominate yourself. And your club can nominate you. We soon get to JPL action, but big up Stan Kroenke. People want to welcome Stan Kroenke and congratulate him on the tremendous victory that he pulled off yesterday with his LA Rams. And Mr. Kroenke, we were very optimistic that you will, divert some of the winnings from the Rams Super Bowl title to Arsenal Football Club in England. Don't know if you remember that, but it is also owned by you. So we're looking forward to that. Now, but I hope by reading your comment, Mr. Kroenke, that you will indeed consider my. He says we need leaders who are not currently in football. All the people, like in politics, including those in the parishes, are one and the same. There you go. That is the point I'm making. And unless we get people in the system, the system is going to remain the same. It's going to remain the same. All right. Brain drain. Lessons, man. Where is your join our membership button? Oh, brain drain. You know what? Right now, brain drain, I only have super chat and super sticker. So you're an AI, right? If you can find a way of helping me with that, then I will do it, brain drain. But I'm slowly getting into this thing. All right. Yeah, Trinidad did put in loads of work. They are behind us. Yeah. Facts, Kroenke, we need business professional to solve this problem. Yeah, man. Big up Tyrone Williams. Blessings, man. Yeah, man. Some people only love football when World Cup comes around. There you go. Yeah. Listen, people, we should not allow... We cannot have, again, 75-year-olds, 70-year-olds, 60-year-olds. And listen, I think what needs to happen, there needs to be an oversight board. And on that board, you can have your older persons, but there needs to be an integration of persons who are football minded but are in the corporate world to come in and get involved in the football. Because we don't want people who have no desire, no passion for football leading it, because that could be a problem too. Because then they're probably going to be more concerned with the money side and not with the playing side of the game. So there has to be that balance. All right. Brain Drain says, apparently you won the Super Bowl. Your colleague Glazer won last year. Must be nice. Yeah, the Glazers won last year. Yes. All right, big up, Peso. Churuchin, nah, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. But thank you for the word, brother. You have to pray for me, because I'm passionate about these things. So, people, here's the thing, like, and I am challenging me as well to get involved in the system. I am challenging me, and I'm challenging you. Find out how you can get in the system to bring change to the system. We can't stand up and be bystander. It's like, do you realize what happens in our political system? The political system has created us in such a way, has fashioned us, in such a way where the ones who vote for the politicians most times, oftentimes, they are not the ones who are better able to distinguish between what is corrupt and what is not, what is integrity and what is not. Those of us who have that in-depth knowledge stay out of the system, and then we complain. Big up Gunners, boss. I like this. Man, we're tired of the old folks continue getting recycled in and out of the top positions. Young minds with far-reaching hands is the new normal. I agree. I remember how the Boston Celtic removed Doc Rivers and got that young guy to be their coach. I see, even I'm not talking NBA. You see what Arsenal has done. You see how they remove Wenger and they're recreating. At some point, yeah, Alex Ferguson has to go. You have to get to a point where you just don't keep recycling. You have to remove. While you recycle, you also remove and retire. We need dynamic leadership with the right sense of altruism. Cranky. People, you need to, I know some of you are going into your dictionary to figure out that word. So let me give you the definition, because I'm not bright like this is the real Stan Cranky, So you have to understand he doesn't use normal words like us. We are from the brain drain school. We use simple words. You understand me? It means disinterested and selfless concern for the well-being of others. Bless up Marlon Morris. Yeah, man. Chris Wayne says, someone like an Andre Verter to lead. Young guy, but good football mind. Yeah. People who are involved. Young man. But Andre Verter, I think, is involved in the system. I think he's one of the coaching instructors. You have people like Christopher Williams. They're in the system. Will they take on bigger roles? Bless up Unseen Sport. My name is the old guard, chain up the gate. But trust me, Brian, we have to find a way to get in. We have to find a way to get into the system. We must find a way to get into the system. People have to get into the system. That's the only way it's going to change. That's the only way it's going to change. So that is my take on the whole. Like I said, everyone has a right to their opinion. I don't think what they said was wrong. It is their request that the entire administration resigns because the system failed. They need to change and they need to question themselves. Nothing is wrong because that's their opinion. But listen, you cannot here's the thing. The thing with football, and I said it earlier today and I'll say it again. If you get involved with football outside of FIFA's stipulations, FIFA take over the football and you don't play certain competitions, I'm telling you, you must be very careful. You cannot use political force and politics in football, especially when you're a smaller nation. FIFA will mess you up. So prepare for the election. Get everything you need in place. Westmoreland needs some field down there. Hanover need a Premier League team. From the day I born, I never hear about a Premier League team in Hanover. When last is a team from St. Elizabeth. Go and do some things down there. Get into the parishes and start changing the landscape. Yeah, Sean McVay, the LA Rams coach, is 30 years old. Well, he started coaching at 30. I think he's 36 now. Yep. I think he went to his first Super Bowl at 33. Change the current norm. It's like trying to change leadership in Africa. It's very. Boxall got out, Borrell, and he made sure it never happened again. Yeah, but you know what though? So here's what I think we need to push for, which is something that has been submitted to FIFA. Push for the amount of votes to select the leadership be changed. Right? And then you work from there. But this idea that this present administration need to go, they need to step aside. Listen, which political party in Jamaica? Listen, let me tell you this. How long did the PNP lead? Around 16 years? Did they step aside? You think if the Jamaica Labour Party stays in power for the next 12 years, even if everything is failing, they're going to step aside? You have to wait until the election. Need a football business mind leader. Big up top 10, long time, boy. Your Clarendon team, them now go on good enough. The plane there, and also the Lions are not doing so well. Yeah. Portland needs help. True. And since sport, the person doesn't have to be football minded. The person just needs to be an accomplished business person. I think he must. Listen, the one difficulty I have with that, Cranky, if the person don't love football, I don't think they can be the president of the football. You have to have a passion for football. You may not be a good football player, but if you don't watch football and you don't play it, I think you're going to be hard for you to lead football. I think so. I think you need to, maybe you're not the biggest footballer, but you need to at least have some inclination towards football. Yeah. Yeah, something like what Chris Wayne is saying. All right, hold on. We have a call here. People, we have the NFL winning owner calling. Yes. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. This is the NFL winning owner calling. How do you feel about your team winning the Super Bowl? Hold on, caller. We're not hearing you. We're not hearing your caller. Let's see if we can get you back. He's calling. I don't know what's going on now. Yeah. So let's see if we can get this call sorted out. Yeah, and see. But I agree with you, Chris Wayne. Very, very good point. Let's see if we can get the caller back online. It's a very people. Please remember to hit the like button, subscribe as well. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right, caller, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're hearing you now, caller. Welcome to the show, caller. This is Stan Cranky. I want to congratulate you on your victory yesterday.
Well, yes, we are in the winning mode. So now today is the Rams, next is Arsenal. we have a structure put in place. We're not trying to win it all at once. You put a structure in place. We start first with the defense, then we go to midfield and a center forward, and we have a good team to compete with the Man Cities and the Liverpools of the world. But I'm here to talk Jamaican football. We talk about other teams.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
There's a misconception that the person has to be versed in a given discipline to really lead and manage that discipline. So here's an example. In a lot of instances, the concept about running a business is that. If I'm really smart, a quick learner, really knowledgeable, have the attributes to be a very good leader, a good CEO, I can go into any business and do really well. This view that the person has to be a football, have to have the football knowledge, have to be a football expert, an aficionado in football, that's a misconception about how you think about a business. You're running a business. Should they have an affinity for football? Yes, they should like the sport. They should understand the sport. But it doesn't have to be that case. The person will tell me, and watch you interview the person from the JPL, he didn't come across him as a football aficionado when he came on board, right? What he seemed to have had was a business acumen. Allow him to understand I have a business has certain fundamentals to it. It needs to have leadership, management, a product, customers, and I go out and I source what I need to source. I get the right people around me to figure out how to run the business and for the business to be successful. And right now what we have is, as you've alluded to and your viewership have alluded to, or your commenters, is that they're the same people doing the same thing with the same results. And it's very hard to change that given the current construct and how things are institutionalized. That's why I compare it to Africa. Same leaders year after year, great people, great minds come in, they get rid of them by any means necessary. Because management, think about this. When you're trying to change that leadership, that apparatus is well designated, well set up, well aligned, well positioned. It's like trying to get up a new political party in Jamaica. Give them PNP and JLP dominance. It's hard to do. And it takes a multi-year plan to even replace these individuals. So if it's going to be November is the last time you have, the window is now between November and November is too short to get them out. Because think about it. Everything runs through the parishes, 13 parishes. You don't think they're really ingrained with the current administration? Some of them are on the board. You're asking people to displace themselves. They control the people in the parishes who elect them. So it's a hierarchy which has the bodies who elect the parishes, who then elect the leadership of the JPL. It's hard to get rid of them. My view is you have to have like a parallel organization, take years to build, set up, know-how, to then go in and make wholesale changes and revolutionize the construct of the football and the football operate. But as it stands today, management, I am not hopeful. I don't want to give people false hope. You can go in and replace these people. So that's almost impossible to do. Give the timeline you have to do it. And given people who may not have, I just said, the interest or the desire to incur the pain involved in trying to change the current construct. And I know it's frustrating for many. I hear Ali and others talk about players in their JFF in NEP, all these people in NEP, they should add the media to the whole mix too. Because what has the media been doing for all these years? The
But
Gleaner come out with an editorial,
but
and by the guys, editorial is not assigned to any person. That's the Gleaner's position. It could be the editor of the Gleaner and or a body or a board that runs the Gleaner or any newspaper organization. Where were they all this time when people on YouTube been saying that for how long now? That the JFF has been inept. They just come out with the editorial after the fact, after the campaign is almost done and we have lost? That makes no sense. How are you influencing changing things? So as you're saying, man is man, I don't disagree that change is mandatory for the program to move forward. But trying to effect that change is very, very difficult. Very difficult.
yeah, but what I'm saying that maybe then what we need to look at is, listen, you may not be able to change everything come November, but start seeing what you can change and then look for the next election cycle. But that's one thing, right? So I totally agree with you that the window may be too short to change everything. All right. So we don't know if there is something in place to who is going to contest, and if this present administration, if we don't know what's going to happen. So maybe you need to look at then, okay, after November, when will be the next election, and start getting, start doing the work. No, because everything takes time. We can't just sit down and say, well, it's not going to change, so leave it because the window is too short. We should keep planning and keep trying, keep looking to the next cycle for the election, but still see what you can do, what ground you can make up. The other thing as well is kind of strange is that Ali McNabb is employed to the Ministry of Sport for the purpose of some of these very things in terms of funding, even the campaign. And part of what people are going to say now is that wouldn't some of us also, wouldn't it be right for some of us to at least have the opinion that the ministry that oversees the JFF and football in Jamaica, they have been inept, which should now include Ali McNabb?
All right. You can't call family member inept enough, so mind that word. He uses it. He's not one.
No, but you understand what I'm saying?
No, you're right, man. You're right. You can't be part of the administration that hasn't done your job and then says others are inept and you have not looked at yourself and what you could have done to change the current situation.
Exactly.
Or prevent it from happening.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I think that is, I think that is the issue we have. The people who are saying people are inept and people need to move, and again, it's not that they are bad people. It's not that they don't have good ideas, but you have been a part of the system for so many years.
So here's the thing, man, which is maybe you should bring some of these people from the JFF on the program. I've said this before in the management. When Mr. Speed talks, no, not Mr. Speed, when Rudolph Speed talks about an evaluation being done of the coach and all that, I think my question was, do we do that of the people in the organization itself, right? Because if you're going to say you're going to assess the coach and his or her performance, who is assessing your performance? So it's one thing to have an electoral process by you get elected, but you can also volunteer to move on if you know you're not doing a good job. If I use the word altruistic, if you have a self-interest, if you're for the betterment of your organization and your country and the program, then you got to make the sacrifice of yourself because you know what your competencies are lack thereof, and you need to help the organization move forward. I'm sure, Manningsman, there are a lot of people with the correct skill set or the appropriate skill set to help the program move forward. The question is, do they want to make the sacrifice? Will people give them an opportunity? Because a lot of times we don't like to make change, even though we advocate change. We don't like change. I'm going to give you an example, Manningsman. In the last Jamaican election, what percentage of the population voted?
Yeah, I think 48%.
No, it was 30-something%. So if that's the case, Manningsman, what happened to the other 60-something% or 70% of people?
Disinterested in the political process.
Why is there an alternate party then if all these people are disinterested or dissatisfied with the current administration? Why is that? That's what I'm talking about, Manningsman, which is there's apathy in the air, which is, you know what? I can't change the current situation, so let me just give up. Now, what you're saying is that cannot be the solution. That can't be the alternative. We can't give up. We have to figure out a way Because look, you and I are not going to live forever. We want to see a change before we leave this earth. I'll leave it to a better place for those who are coming behind us. We know we have talent. We know we have intellectual capital. We may not have the financial resources in abundance, but we have enough to make meaningful change, to get the program to generate those resources. And frankly, I'm seeing sports talking about I'm wrong about a person have to know football. Management. When you have money in the management, you can buy almost anything in the management. So if you get a person with the right skill set, who the sponsors trust, who have the influence and the ability to go raise capital, who identify the right people, put them in the right position, that program can change materially. Currently, we don't have that. And the people who are in power love the profile it gives them. They're probably not even doing it for the money. It's the profile, it's the influence, it's their ability to garner whatever it is they're trying to garner, why they want to sit in the seat they sit today. And right now, management, they are failing miserably. And I hear the president saying he ain't resigning. No, why do you want to be part of that, Mr. President? Because you fail miserably. Why should you have a job? You fired the coach. Why aren't you getting fired?
And I like Fresh God is saying it here, Cranky. I don't think he's going to run again. The question
is, he's in there one day too long, man. He should have resigned the last game he played where we Costa Rica, he should have stepped down.
All right, so let me ask you this, but if he stepped down, do you know that it is a vice president who sits in the office?
The whole administration body resigned, man. It won't make man.
But all right,
if we didn't have a body,
I'm just asking it up. So let me ask you the next question that Fresh God asked, because Fresh God made a very valid point. All right, because he said, be careful what you wish for now, because you might get them out and somebody worse come in. Because
man, stop. It can't be worse. It can't be worse.
Cranky,
where are you, man? It can't be worse.
Cranky. Who? Because the truth is, who are the candidates? Who are, say, the 10 people in Jamaica right now who we know that wants to be a part of the football, who have not been a part of the system?
Man.
Where are the people?
Just like how you, man. Wait, hold up, man. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. This myopic view of what is Jamaica. I keep telling you guys this. Man, go source the talent like you source your footballers. Well, not exactly
who
the same
should
way.
Go and source them, Cranky?
That's the thing. The question is, the Minister of Sports should be working with the JFF to figure out a strategy going forward about how we do this. And helping the program, because FIFA will penalize you if government get involved. But work as a partnership, and the Minister of Sports should help with this, which is go try to help source someone. Do they have to be Jamaican, frankly? Like, seriously?
You have to be a Jamaican. You don't have to. You have to be a Jamaican, but you may.
But you don't have to live in Jamaica.
Right.
So I'm sorry, what I should say.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a Jamaican citizen. You don't have to be a locally born Jamaican, right?
No, man, just be a citizen of Jamaica.
Right. So you can go source that citizen from anywhere in the world they now reside.
No, but follow me. The ministry. That's what I'm saying to you. The government cannot get involved. If the government get involved,
man. Did the Canadian government get involved in football in a roundabout way?
How?
There's always a way to do things without doing it the normal traditional way.
Oh, well, we can find out a way because FIFA want government to stay out of football. It's from that perspective.
No, I understand that. But they're corrupt too, so they don't want any corruption. They are corrupt, so they figured a way.
They don't want the football.
Their corruption among themselves.
And here's what I think, Cranky. I think FIFA is smart enough. FIFA knows that if government involved, it is going to affect FIFA. So they have to put things in place to make sure that the government don't get involved in. But here's the thing. I don't even think, as a nation, I would not want the government to be involved in any part of the process. Because, listen, do you know that the party that is in power has probably the most people, when it comes on to like school boards, a lot of the school boards, the government-owned school, the party who is in power is person from that party sits on those boards. Same thing with most of the offices that are chaired in our nation. So if you're the best person, for example, to be the chairman of NERA, Northeastern Regional Health Authority, and you're doing a good job, and one party changes, you know that you have to leave.
Well, I mean, that's not unique to Jamaica, right? If you're in a government elected position or a government position where it's appointment, Then when a government comes in, no different from, say, the US, for example, or in a state, they'll make changes for the position and have people who are loyal to them, right? Don't disagree with that. That's how it works, basically.
But that is
Not
why
different countries.
I wouldn't want the government to have anything to do, because you're gonna have an election and the party may change.
Right.
And
right.
people
But
just,
look, we don't want government to run the program. We want government to provide some kind of expertise to help the program move forward without deemed to be taking control of the program and then run afoul of people. We're not looking for that. We're trying to come up with solutions, and we're just thinking big picture and brainstorming about what you can do. Because you're right now asking question, which is okay. So we say we should go source the best talent. Who's going to source that talent? So the people who are in a position are going to source talent to replace themselves. You would expect the JFF board would do so, at least to get people in the positions of being like CEO or
Cracky.
Yeah.
You think if I'm the president of a board, I'm going to tell people, listen, go and source who are the best persons to operate as a, like, it's so hard. I don't know.
No, but the position of CEO management is different from and vice president, different from being on the board. No, they could be on the board, but sometimes they're not, right?
Yeah.
In some companies they're not. Boards are the ones who source executive positions for companies.
Yeah.
Right. So the boards appoint the CEO, the boards fire the CEO. The question is, the board, I think, in the football program, is made up of people from the parishes, correct?
Yes. The parish president.
So, and they are one of the same. They all lock hands together. So, you know what? What we have just in this whole discussion, what we're proving is we have a conundrum it's hard to get out of. We run around in a circle and as you said at the outset, it's hard to change.
There you go. But and here's what Gunner's boss also make a very important point. He said the JFF leadership position will not attract our best and brightest because it's a free position, and young people and the most brilliant minds. It's almost like it is designed for person in retirement or people who have already made their money.
Let's no, management. We're not. Here's the misconception you make. So you guys are age discriminating now. We don't know the most brilliant mind when it comes to what we're talking about is young people. What we're saying is all people. So this whole view that young people are more brilliant, maybe more brilliant in terms of technology and innovation. They're not brilliant about making smart decisions and mature decisions.
Okay. Well, good point. Good point. Good point.
So we want the best people who have this mind of doing. They may do things pro bono. They may be so wealthy that, you know what, it's not a paid position. You get paid for your expenses, and therefore they maybe want to give back to their country.
And then Ishmael raises a point. He says, regardless what you are saying, Ricketts is going to say, I have qualified the girls to the World Cup, and I have the ability to get them there again. How many of you have done that?
We have qualified the girls to the World Cup despite the JFF, but not because of the JFF. But let's not be confused.
You know what is funny though? But wouldn't you say they are the reason why we don't qualify?
What? Say again?
Would you say that they are probably one of the main reasons why we didn't qualify?
Yeah, look, I think the JFF, it was better on management. You talked about in your program today, management, around how Jamaicans are involved in so many different sports. Not only involved, do well in so many different sports, but different reasons, just because of who we are as a people. It's not just the athleticism, it's the mindset, it's the thought process, it's the desire. It's just who we are, right? We have the talent. Question, how do we bring that talent together, harness the talent, and let the talent go on the field and execute? We have a lot of Jamaicans globally. They're not all in Jamaica. A lot of the girls are from overseas, right? If the JFF did a better job of sourcing not only the players, but coaching staff, resources, and how they administer the program, we would have easily made the World Cup. And in fact, frankly, if you look at our outcome for all the games, there's very few games we were not in, right? Panama at home, maybe a little bit more Panama away, even though we scored first. But most of the games, we had an opportunity. If we had some better players, better time to coalesce and have chemistry, we probably would have done well despite the JFF and all their blunders. They can't even, management. This is the icing on the cake. They can't even file a report with FIFA that doesn't have a litany of errors which gets thrown out. A basic report. First you do is figure out what my report should have in it and make sure it constitutes and it's comprised of those items. They can't even do that, management. As Ali said, they're inept. That's just the one word, inept.
but here's it now, crack. And I mean, I hear you, you know, and I hear, and you have some valid points, very valid points. All right. However, here's what we must also look at. All right, the sourcing of those, because it's not like people are like, I have not heard some of these brilliant minds come out locally or overseas and say, listen, I want to get involved in the football. What is the pathway? And stuff. I'm saying, where are the people? We are saying that there are many people out there, but where are they? Because the truth is, the federation will not go and source. Why would the federation? All right, two things. Why would the federation go and source people to replace them in an election? They will source people who are under their leadership, not people who are going to remove them from leadership. That's one thing why it has to be some people outside of the federation that will do that. That's one thing. Number two, here's it. They gave over the reggae girls, all right, and the team qualified. They are told that the qualification has nothing to do with them. So they get involved in the boys program and they don't qualify. They don't qualify, and it is a problem. So which one should they do?
They should just resign. I'm sorry, Manning. There's nothing the JFF can do because basically, Manning, every step they take, which requires a modicum, just a small amount of competence, they fall short. Now, you don't like to beat people 24/7, right? I've said this before, which is we're at the point now, at least on the men's program, whereas you're doing, we should be focused on going forward. How do we change this materially to not be in this place ever again? Put a sustainable program in place to make sure we're not concerned and challenged with how we can qualify for 2026 and 2030. We know we have a structure in place, we know we have a process in place, and we know going forward what it looks like, right? And that includes, somebody's man, you asked the question about, where are all these people? Well, man, so we own in this, a lot of people are not in the, or in those situations, are not in the YouTube forum. They don't talk to the general press. They may be out there. The question is, how do I source those voices? Because they may not have a medium they feel comfortable using that medium to communicate what they would like, right? People got to understand that, which is not everybody come out. And some people take risk in doing this and speak in these forums. They just don't.
And I think that is the problem, because truthfully, when I scan across Jamaica locally, I would say like I don't see anyone positioning themselves in such a way that I would say, yes, you know what? Because the persons who we see say they are not interested in it. They are not. They have no interest in it.
Man, sometimes people don't want to deal with the elements. We know this work, right? Some people don't want to deal with the backlash. They don't want to deal with all the things that's involved. Because you know, when you get involved in this management, you and your family, not only you, are subject to a lot of stuff. And some people don't want to go through that challenge. Or sometimes they're just not interested. And we got to respect their perspective on that.
Yeah.
But we can't give up and say, you know what? They're out there someplace. And if they have the right platform to work with, the right people to work with, reasonable people to work with, they probably want to get involved and do it. But you got to find them, right? People like yourself who are very committed to this. It's a passion for you. That's admirable. But we have to understand that other people have other passions, which may not be football. I mean, but think about it, management. You know, one thing, management, we talk about bandwagonists, but people like to deal with success, right? And look, track and field is a perfect example. The track program was being like Trinidad, for example, which is not terrible. Or some other islands we don't do well. Nobody would really care, man. But everybody's on the track and field bandwagon because we are excellent. Not just good, not very good, excellent. Right? For 3 million people, we're winning world championship. That's abnormal. That's not even close to being the norm. And do it on a consistent basis. Right? And one would say, well, it's the administration. They can get credit, but it's the people. It's the culture. It's how people have grown up in that environment and can aspire for greatness because it's in front of them all the time. And something you aspire for things which you know are reachable because you know your neighbor next door, a person you can see every day, in your environment, and you're talking about bold today and how it's normalized. It's normalized. So normalized, which is excellent for some people, is normal for you, and you can aspire to it. In some of the cases, that's not the case. So
Yeah.
I would say that, look, we all want the best for the football.
I have two things for you, right? But go ahead and
Yeah.
finish up, and then yeah.
No, I say I want the best for the football. So we have to figure out a way to get that to be a reality versus what we're seeing today, which is an administration. Which, look, I'm sure some of those people in administration management have the best of intentions. I'm sure some of them are doing their best, but we gotta understand this. Sometimes your best is not good enough. Like getting run against Bolt. He was very good, but his good was not good enough.
Yeah. So Gunner's boss is saying, Stan, since you are so knowledgeable and love the game and country, why don't you try and get the job?
No, man, first of all, my son, I'm not gonna never foreign.
But that's what you see now you hear your excuse. But isn't that what you were saying, that we have people, we need to tap into the diaspora? So somebody's tapping into the diaspora right now by saying
but
yeah.
here's the point. Nobody's my his thing.
Yeah.
My view is, the person never foreign, they have to want to come back to Jamaica and be on the ground.
Okay.
And right now I have three Nevin and niece here. They are my priority, I must admit.
Okay.
My job is to make sure they go to and get the right guidance. We can't come back to Jamaica right now.
Okay.
And first of all, I'm afraid I don't know, I don't know fear.
No, you can't say.
You know me love, you know?
Eh?
Me love and afraid at the same time.
No.
Love and afraid at the same time.
That brain drain, I don't know. Brain drain is an AI people, and I don't know if he's saying that Cranky made a mistake or he made a mistake. And brain drain, if you made a mistake, you need to correct it by putting back a super chat with the correct information. But if you're suggesting that Cranky made a mistake, did you say people like two winners, Cranky, or did you say people like winners?
People like winners.
Okay.
Maybe two winners. What does two winners mean?
Two winners.
But maybe I need to, man. No, back up, man. People like, I don't know Pato that well. We need a Pato.
I don't know. This is no the AI.
We get flat.
Trust me, this is an AI. He doesn't speak other languages, so.
Oh, okay. No, I said people like winners, not two winners. They like winners. So track and field athletes win, Bolt win, Shellyan win, Elaine wins, Quarry won, right? They like people with a history of winning, and they want to be able to celebrate, because they can affiliate. They have an association with it. They can feel like they have won. I can tell you this, man. I'm gonna say this again. When I went to London at 2012 Olympics, man, best time ever, man. Apart from Washington DC '97, because you know what? You're a celebrity. And you're not even running, man. You have Jamaican colors. You look Jamaican, they treat you like celebrity. Everybody loved that association. Everybody want to be Jamaican. We are winning. Same thing with the football. Except in the football, we're not doing as well as we should, even though we have the talent.
All right, but you know what? Somebody just made. Thank you for this comment. Do Charts JA. He says this, and he's talking about some of the people. I think he's referring to the comment I made that. I mean, when I scan to Jamaica, the people are saying they are not interested. They're not interested. And many of them, even the politics, a lot of them say they're not interested in it. They want it to change. And you just alluded to that, Cranky. And listen to this comment. He says, they are not interested in dealing with the problems of the JFF. And I think it's Jamaican in general. He says, look at the guy from Proven, which is Chris Williams. And he says, I think that's Kasafa tried to destroy his reputation. And this is the thing, sometimes the system itself is so corrupt and political that you get involved in it because you probably run against, as an let me use the parish that I'm in. You run against St. Anne. Here's what people start saying. You're a thief. Is the people, like, let's use me as a pastor, is the people them offering from church that you're using to run the campaign and all of that. People don't care about your reputation. And some people, because it doesn't pay enough money, and it is because of their reputation in the corporate world why they earn so much, they'd rather avoid it. And it's the same thing
Yeah,
with
look.
politics. It's a very difficult, it's like it's a conundrum, because you
Yeah.
get involved, it could affect you in the corporate world. You don't
Yes,
get involved,
very
it doesn't change.
Yeah. No, I that's look, man. I was funny. One day I was at work, right? One day at company,
Oh, so,
and the
sorry,
person,
Cranky. Sorry, hold on, Cranky. Brain Drain has corrected it. He said, I got caught between two win and winners. So he corrected himself. Tell you it's
I didn't know AI get caught. I thought AI never get caught. No, I was talking to someone one day in management, somebody who's a very known person in the business world in the US and very eloquent management. And I said to him, he was in a meeting, right? I said to him, look, I'm curious why you don't run for office, because you are exceptionally brilliant. And he basically said, are you out of your mind? Why would I want to put myself through that? Right? And I thought somebody like him, who was extremely wealthy management, extremely eloquent, very seasoned, could do a lot of good because he's just a very person with a good heart and want to do the right thing. He's like, I'm putting myself through that. That's never going to happen. So there's a reason why people don't get involved in these things, because it is you have to be tough skinned, you're going to go through a lot. And you have to have a big ego management to even do that in the first place. Because it's a cost benefit, which is, what's the benefit of me doing this, right? And
Yeah.
what do I have to pay to do it? What do I have to incur to do it? And some people don't decide they're not going to bear that cost. They're just not going to do so. So I understand that. But if you can get good people, look, I don't know how you make the change management. It's no different from politics, given how institutionalized the process and construct is and how it all works. I don't know how you change it. No matter how much you advocate change management, it is extremely difficult. I don't know how Box Hill did it. If you can go ask Box Hill how he did it. Man.
I'm going
I
to
think what he actually did was go around to all the parishes.
I have an interview
and
with him.
support.
I have an
Yeah, go
interview
ahead.
with him coming up. I have
And maybe he has an idea. What he did was with electorate, right? With people. Yeah, that's a good question to ask him.
Yeah, his reputation was, affected.
Of course.
Significantly while he was he suffered. Let me say this: he suffered loss he lost more than he gained by being the president.
And management, you know what happened, management? Which is when he got out Burrell, right? Way back when. Burrell have another thing with management. When you've been incompetent and you get out, it's just like Trump. You have resources at your disposal, your affiliation at your disposal. You know how it all works. I come in new. If I don't get the support, and he may have gotten the support from the people in the administration, you're doomed to failure, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, how do you build a sustainable construct to allow you to be successful on a long-term basis? Because if you go in for one term and you fail, they kick you out and that's it.
Yeah. Let me give you a couple more because the people Gunners Boss challenging everything you see and brain draining us. So let me give you a couple of these and then you probably can drop back to the comment section and respond to them. One says, Stan, the patriotic man, said he has more important things to do than representing. Your criticism have no credibility. You qualified and if you qualified and refuse, right?
So that's not Butler. Let me just say, which is no, I don't. It's not important thing to do. It's a family thing, right? I have to make sure my neighbors and my needs are set up for the future. And if I make a decision to do this, then I'm sacrificing them. I can't afford to sacrifice them.
No, but that's what they're saying. That's exactly what.
But management, I'm not a hypocrite. I've said it before. Management, you hear me say the players think about their family first. And then their country. Haven't I said that numerous times?
No, man. No, you're not.
No apology?
No, man. I know that you're not being a hypocrite, No, he's not saying you're being a hypocrite. He's just...
It sounds hypocritical, but I've always said it's your family come first.
And then brain drain.
Because when they start blast you, then your family is the only thing you can turn back to. Your family comes first.
Yeah, and then brain drain says, I am sure sports. Ask Cranky if he's altruistic.
Altruistic. Go ahead. Altruism, yeah. Go ahead, man.
No, that's what brain drain said. I must ask you if you are that.
I just told you I have two nevers in me. Of course I have altruism.
But
they're not mine.
It is family.
They're mine, but they're not mine.
It is family. It is family. It is family, brain drain.
Yeah, Here's an example. It's a small synopsis of what a leader has to go. I'm not a leader, let's put it that way. But what someone has to go through in the public domain. You have 100,000 people, all have different perspectives, all have different agendas, all have different views about who you should be, how you should operate. It is magnified 100-fold when you're in that seat. So no matter how good job management does his church, or if he becomes part of the JFF, he's going to get a litany of criticism, some which makes no sense, some which are not positive. They are meant to do what they're meant for. So if I'm critical, if I'm always going to find fault with anything, my voice is going to be the loudest because I want to be heard and make sure I'm going to get heard. And I'm not, as I said before, I'm sure the people in JFF think they want to do a good job. Nobody want to do a bad job, man. But the question is, I don't want to run 100 meters in 9 seconds, but I can't do so. I just don't have the ability. It's not my fault. Try to find someone who has the ability management. I know I've taken enough time of your time, but my view is, man, I think you're doing an excellent job of bringing all these things to the table, whereas footballers who have been there, done it, executive have been there, done it, and maybe through your program, somebody will get the news, somebody with the competence and ability and the resources to get involved and help to figure out how to drive change.
All right.
I'll say good night with that last. And by the way, I was speaking spokey as usual. That's the way I operate.
All right. You need to take on the people in the comment section because they have a lot to say about what you have been saying. So thank you for calling and supporting the work, Ranky.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right. Ishmael made a very valid point. He said that, listen, Captain Burrell lent money to the JFF. At one point, the JFF owed him $28 million, and people still call him thief. That's a thing, man. Then Coach Minzy says this. Listen, it's and this is the next part of it. Man, then we'll go in half you have money. If you're gonna be you probably have to have money to be a part of this JFF. So there's a lot of things that I think we need to consider. Gunners boss said, man, when you're going to bring on Mr. Karam Prasad on the show, we want to hear him and what's going on with the future of night football in Port. All right, Gunners boss, we're gonna work on the link. All right, we're gonna work on the link. And then Ishmael said, means that Jamaica still gonna call you thief. Yeah, that's how it is. Brain drain. New Charts J says, yes, people within the federation, once they are not in power, even with Wadada Kasafa, once again try to bring everything into disrepute. And that is the problem. We have to learn to work together. The old dinosaurs of Jamaica football need to go. Yep. Brain Drain says, leaders are overrated. You need to know how to manage people to be so, yeah. But leadership is management. You understand me? It is the position, I think, that is overrated. But if you're managing people well, you're a leader. Yeah, but I always tell people that the biggest crowd you have to lead is yourself. And if you lead yourself well, then you'll be able to lead others well. You have to lead yourself first. Yeah. But I know a lot of people are saddened by the JPL action, so we're gonna give you some. For those of you who don't know, well, let me show you the matches over this round so you can see the score lines. Let me give you the games that were played in stages. So let's look at the first set of games, right? And then let's discuss some of the JPL action, talk about a couple of the goals and some of the surprise results. In the JPL action today. So let's share the screen and just discuss a little bit of JPL and show you the point standing quickly. As we get ready. All right, so here we go. JPL. All right. There you go, people. So let me do this. So today the score lines, the games on Saturday, as you can see, Moulins defeated Waterhouse by 2 goals to 0. Waterhouse were leading the table on goal difference over Mount Pleasant. They suffer loss. Yeah. And then Humble Lion and Portmore played to a 1-1 score line. Right? Dunbeholden and Mount Pleasant also had a 1-1 score line. 2 good goals were scored in that game. Watch this player who I think he was called up to the national team and got an injury. And since then he has not been called up. Young player. He's also a relative of Kahim Paris. His name is Daniel Green. He has scored some brilliant goals this season. I think 1 penalty and 3 goals that he kind of cut in from the left and fired off the right. Did so. The Dunbeholden forward, Bygrave, he scored again. I mean, coming off injury, came on and he scored in that game. Cavaliers, down to 10 men, defeated. Kenroy Campbell scored as they defeated Harbour View by a 1-0. Harbour View need to get themselves a striker. Yeah, because they need to be scoring goals. You have to be scoring in this JPL, and they are not scoring, so they are going to suffer. All right. In other games, Arnett Gardens. Again, there's a guy at Arnett Gardens called Cephas. You need to look out for that guy. Very, very fast former Charlie Simmet player. He scored again today as they defeated Jamalco by 2-1. As you know, Jamalco, they're having some challenges there. I think it has to do with the amount of players that are vaccinated. Some refuse to be vaccinated, and so I think because of that, they're not being allowed to play. That's what we are hearing. And then also Mobe and Tivoli Gardens played to a 1-1 scoreline. But some good goals. I think the quality of the games were not as good as previous week. Less goals also were scored over this weekend, but some quality goals were scored over this weekend. Also, one of the changes, at least one team got it right in Cavaliers. They have written the names of the player on their jerseys, and that has also made a huge difference. So the point standing sees Mount Pleasant leading with 13 points with plus 10 goals. Second place, we have Waterhouse. They're on 12 points with plus 9 goals. Then Dunbeholden on 10 points with plus 2 goals. Then Cavaliers, they're on 9 points minus 1. Arnett Gardens, I mean, they had a tough season last season. They are in 5th position with 8 goals plus 8 points plus 1 goal. Harbour View in 6th position and 5 points minus 1 goal. Portmore 7th, 5 points minus 4 goals. Mollines 4 points minus 3. Moby United 4 points minus 5. Tivoli minus 1 with 3 points. Jamalco have 3 points as well, and so does Humble Lion at the bottom of the table. I want you to realize that the teams that have not won 2 consecutive games, none of those teams are in the top 5. Yeah, almost like you have to win 2 consecutive games. You have to win 2 games. Yeah, winning is important. You have to be winning because teams keep on winning. And so that's your point standing in the JPL. I mean, like again, today we had 2 15-year-olds playing in the league for Veer. But I don't know if you know this, but the youngest player to ever play, well, that I know to have ever played, hold on, Veer, update to Veer. Update to Veer monies. Pepper Paul, I'm not sure. Did I miss something? I'm not sure. I'm not understanding the comment. You didn't see it up after Veer? All right, let me just go back. So Veer, Okay. You're saying that updated to Veer, yeah, not Jamalco. Sorry. You're right, Pepe Paul. It's Veer and not Jamalco, people. I don't know why they have it like that. Thank you. That is true. Thank you, Pepe Paul. I appreciate that. Yeah. So Jamalco is actually Veer. Respect and appreciate. But the youngest player to ever play, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but from my knowledge, is Junior Fleming. Junior Fleming played for Tivoli Gardens at 14 years old. I think he's the youngest player in recent time to have played in the Premier League. So, and I think Cavaliers played a 15-year-old in Christopher Ainsworth, and today Veer played 2 15-year-old. And so again, I want to tell you that Jamaica, the Premier League is one of the youngest league, like probably in the world right now. Unseen, who is man of the match 2 times straight. I send you the link, Very sure you have the link, I am sure sports. Who is man of the match 2 times? What do you think of this? Gunner's boss is saying it is criminal to have 15-year-old children playing professional football. I don't care if they're getting paid or not. That got to stop. What say you people? Is something wrong with a 15-year-old playing in the JPL? Is something wrong? Gunner's boss is saying that. Let me hear some of the comments from the people. Here are your stats. The leading goal scorer. There you go. So it is not bad in terms of the goal scoring because it's almost one a game for the 2 top scorers. You see Taparoy Bygrave from Dunbeholden. He's a former Cavalier player that played in Antigua. Daniel Green as well, from Mount Pleasant. Andre Fletcher from Waterhouse, Cardell Benbo from Waterhouse, Nicholas Nelson, and Warner Brown from Tivoli Gardens. And when you look at like yellow cards and stuff, Shavani Willis, well, he won't be getting any more because he's not here. Andrew Vanzi. So those are the yellow card. Justin Dunn, Lamar Neal, Marlon Martin. So the yellow card is not so bad. The red card is, look at Cavaliers. 1, Cavaliers is the Arnett Gardens of the Premier League, it looks like. 3, Cavaliers have 3 red card. Dunbeholden, Mount Pleasant has 1, Mullines has a 2, Mobile United 1. Yeah. So those are some of the stats. I don't know if I have, right? I don't know if I have, all right. So some people are responding to Gunner's boss comment. So let me get some of those comments. So like I said, Gunner's boss says that it is criminal, right? Martin Gaming said no, it's not criminal. Rob Simis says if he's good enough, why not let him play? All right, awesome. Start them young, Eddie Vision. Bless up Eddie Vision. Ishmael says as long as he has the ability. All right, Chris Wayne says nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong with that. It happens in EPL. Rooney played at 15 when he started. It's not forced labor. It's playing where they get useful experience. But some of those tennis stars start play professional tennis at 15. Come on, yeah, Gunner's boss. I think you're using the American sporting, rules and regulation to determine some of these things. Not Every ball kick at the goal can save, but my eye test plus is 2 man of the match. Tell me that. You're talking about the Cavaliers goalkeeper, the goalkeeper from St. Lucia. If that's what you're talking about, he's a very good goalkeeper. You know, I think he'd be a good prospect if he married a Jamaican. Nothing is wrong. All right. Gunners boss, what you talking about? All right. With all due respect, what does the youth of the JPL compared to the rest of the world have to do with anything, especially if the quality is subpar? Other league are older cause it's a higher quality. All right. All right, mad vibes. All I'm saying, all right. People, we cannot compare the roads in Jamaica to the roads in the United States. One is a first world country, one is a third world country. People, we cannot compare the league in England and Spain to the league in Jamaica. They are first world countries. Jamaica is a third world country. So when we speak about the young players, we need not compare them with a player who is in a stadium or an academy that costs in Jamaican, it's more than the net reserve of Jamaica, the cost of their stadium that they train in. We're not comparing it with them, but not because they are not up to the standard of somebody in Spain, mean that they are not good. I'm not up to the standard of some of the other pastors in the world, but that doesn't mean that I'm not a good pastor. Your child may not be the brightest child in the world. It doesn't mean that your child is not bright and should not be spoken about. So that's all we're doing. We're speaking about the players in the context of the Jamaican League. We are not comparing them to Messi when he was 15 or to Mbappe when he was 15. The world has only produced one Messi, one Maradona, one Pele. They're not dime a dozen. How many Messis Argentina have produced? And how many have fallen through the cracks? So we still have to speak about the mad vibes, but I understand your point, all right? Managers, my environment. You have to, one, tell people what you want, two, how to depend on experience of three, why, and four, benefit, including benefit to them, standpoint. All right, so I think Brain Drain is talking about leadership and management. But you know what? You cannot separate one from the other in a brain drain. I don't know if you made this point, because here's why. If you can't lead, because the first person you have to lead is yourself. And if you can't lead yourself, you can't be a good manager. You can't be. So you have to be, in other words, the better the leader is, the better his ability to manage. And how leadership is now, leadership is managing system and creating systems that people function in. So leadership sometimes in these modern times is not measured by your ability to oversee people, but your ability to create systems that causes people to work effectively and efficiently. Yes, Carla, welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Balance, man. Big up on yourself, you know.
Yes. How you doing, Carla? I'm just saying your name and where you're calling from so the listeners can know.
And the gunners are called, you know, the gunners boss, but me not give no location. They are all over the world.
Okay.
Let them, but hear this now. Hear this now, man. When I say it is criminal, I have 15 years old, playing with grown men, 25 and 30 years old, and up to 39, 40 years old. I'm serious about that, you know. This is not kicking football from the corner or the community, and we know that we have protect some little youth, you know. This is a man playing for his professional career to feed his family. You know, you think me I make like a 15-year-old boy come expose me for no field to him have talent and him skill man, and I'm gonna mash up that. Those are the things. That's why we don't have no solid football players, because we force these little kids into these games, playing with these grown men and these adults, and them mash them up from early. So by them reach 20, watch me, guarantee this. Mark my words. This is a way to see. These 15 years old who playing for these teams you're talking about won't be playing the football by my 25. Them done. Them burn out. Watch this. Remember me tell you that. Me not agree with that. That is criminal. You have a professional organization, a professional outfit. Get professional players to play on your team, and don't tell me you have 15-year-old playing for free. I don't care what happens. They can practice with it, but not put them in a suit for a Sunday and put them out there. We have some solid 15-year-old NFL and NBA basketball players. You see, they play on a professional team. No, that a school them to go and go to academy and whatever league them can do, AAU or Pop Warners or whatever you develop their talent in after the season, and then you move them on to bigger and better things, college to pro. But we can't have a look of baby them I play with some 30, them father and them grandfather in a professional league, man. That is criminal, and I'm upset about it, and that needs to stop.
All right, so Gunners boss, do you know that across the world, 16-year-olds play in leagues though? 16 and 15-year-old.
What league, manins, man?
Messi.
Because hold on, manins, man. I hear someone talking about tennis. Tennis and these are not contact sports. These are individual sports. It is a different from when you have a little.
So let's give us. We are going to give you young players who are playing in the biggest leagues in the world. Leagues in the world.
15-year-old playing in the biggest leagues in the world.
Wayne Rooney was playing for Everton.
At 15.
Yes.
How much that's his one. At 2 you name a player upon 1.
I'm going to give you more. All right. Lionel Messi started playing for Barcelona in the biggest competition when he was young. 16. Kylian Mbappe, 16. Even Bobby Saka at Arsenal, 16. I could go on. Theo Walcott at Southampton, 16. Oxlade Chamberlain at Southampton, 16. I can go on and on and name people. I'm saying in football,
regardless of what you said, them the youth England and America and them place they have enough nutrition and things to give them. The people them not even feed the little youth them at Jamaica. They can't even play. Them not even have enough muscles for them to go play football. The hungry are kill them and no one can play the football.
but did you see the 50?
I don't care. If you tell me, hold on. If you tell me, say Jesus Christ play football at 50 in England, it don't have nothing to do with little hungry people them at Jamaica.
No. Who tell you that the kids are no man. What kids are hungry? You can't say that.
Watch out. Me tell you something. The other day me hear Charlie match a player, and when Charlie Smith match done player, me half time I fruits the people them the youth them a eat. Not even food them not have.
But that is cool. That was
hungry and go lose.
But Gunners boss. All right, follow me, Gunners boss. The players in the Premier League are not dying for hunger. Or they are not coming to the game and playing hungry.
10-year-old kid is not getting enough nutrition.
You're wrong, Gunners boss. Gunners boss.
On a regular professional basis. What is there for him to gain?
So let me tell you, Gunners boss. Let me tell you what he can gain, Gunners boss. The 15-year-old that played today played well. So here's what, Gunners boss. There may be someone looking at him, and here's what happened. Because he's doing this at 15, he moves into Europe and is able to change the fortunes of his family. Maybe during your time, how the league was played, there would be broken legs and stuff. I will say this to you. Hold on, let me finish. Let me finish now, man.
No, man, during my time. This is my days. I ain't dead yet.
All right. During your time when you used to attend the games, when you used to have all of these rough players and officials were afraid because of venue, those things don't happen in the league anymore. To be fair to the league, the players are hungry I think we are past that stage right now. I think we're past that stage to say that the players in the league are hungry and sick. We're not at that place. I can't agree. I can't agree with you with that, but I get your point though. Go ahead.
You're pro that thing, whatever it is. You always agree, say people to take up. Why the boss will own that club. Me want to ask him now, what if this little 14-year-old playing on your team when you have better grown professional out here? You don't want to pay him, you want to use him as a...
No, but remember, you know, this is what you must understand. Remember, it's not all the players in the leagues are that age. I am saying to you that, but hold on, no, in that team, the player played for Veer, and in that team, that player, he is probably one of the best they have. So they're not using him because he's 15. They're using him because he's good enough to play.
No, they're using him because he can make them look. Him can make them look more popular, and him can bring some more money.
No, man. Popularity. They lost the game.
Let me ask you something now.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you something. Let me go question by question now. This kid go to Veer Technical High School, right?
No.
How he play for them if him not go there?
No, you see, no. We're talking about Veer in the Premier League.
So where he play football other school kid, high school kid.
Oh, you mean where he played his school football? I think he played for Fogo. Fogo High.
Fogo High School.
Yeah, I think it's as Fogo High School player. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They played in the DaCosta Cup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fogo. I know about Clarendon and my place, man. So I know what's a Fogo and some after my plan. So let me ask you a question now. So this, if you going to a public school and the taxpayer dime, right? So if him get a scholarship, we, the taxpayer paying him scholarship to go to school, and you tell me, say, oh, no have him, I told him I play football for Veer United, the backside company, or whatever it is. No, we have to stop this. Trying. That means to say a child slavery, no, because they're making money off of that.
He played. Sorry, Gunners boss. Gunners boss. They said that he plays at Denby High School. Sorry.
Denby High School is in Clarendon across down there, so beside the hospital.
Yeah, I just correcting. Thank you, Arsenal FC. I was corrected, so I'm just correcting myself. Go ahead.
So, Denby High School is also a taxpayers funded school, and we pay for him scholarship. So how we pay for him scholarship to go a high school and give him a scholarship and make sure say we the taxpayer pay the teachers and them, and he go and play football for a professional outfit. For what reason? What is that benefit? Him personally or his parents.
So your position is that as long as kids are going to high school, they should not be playing professional football in Jamaica, or no professional sport.
I mean.
No, hold on, because no, man. Here's let me ask you. Hold on. If it is, your argument is that these kids are in school living off taxpayers' money, they should not be taken up by any professionals. We're not talking about food alone, because now you say professional, because football is not the only professional sport. So because they are being sent to school by taxpayers' money, they should not be participating in any professional sport until they are out of high school.
Until when them stop. Until when they don't have a scholarship anymore and them now funded, they are not funded by the taxpayers. Yes, and them parents now take care of them no more. Unless the club is paying the parents and the kid underneath the table and not telling them because academic fraud are involved with this and those things. But something have to be done about this.
Right. So again, your position. I looking at some of the comments. I say you may laugh it. Your position is as long as a child is in school and their school is being funded by taxpayers' money, they should not be engaged in any professional sport.
In any private sporting where it is a corporation or an organization getting money. Say for example,
hold on. Say for example, Brianna Williams lived in Jamaica and said she was going to Immaculate. She should not run for any club in any of the Adidas meet because she's been funded by her thing is being paid for by taxpayers. I'm just asking.
But Brianna can't run and collect money while she dep on a scholarship, brother.
No, man. No. We're not. Here's what I'm.
It must be either you is a college, you is a student athlete, or you is a pro. So now, for instance, if the club cannot pay him, but if he might get some money from some name, image, and likeness, where he might earn, it all come down to earnings. Why? You say no, and people say the club don't pay them to pay. So why pay?
Who? Gunners boss, you're having a conversation. Listen, Gunners boss, listen to me again. Listen to me again, Gunners boss. We spoke about. No, man. We spoke about 15-year-old playing today, and you said
it is criminal.
It is
to have 15 years old playing professional league is what I said, and I am saying in general, and I'm talking about team sports. I'm not talking about me. I talk about team contact sports, where people can get hurt easily.
So let me finish. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying, man. So what you're saying is that if you're a 15-year-old, you can do any professional sport, but you should not do contact sport.
No.
All right.
I said especially contact sports, but I don't believe a 15-year-old with a scholarship going to a high school, a public high school, and the taxpayer dime should be playing.
Who is on scholarship? Hold on. But how you going to scholarship? Our kids don't go to school on scholarship.
Hold on. What you say? High school students don't go to school on scholarship in Jamaica.
Which
you pass an exam. So when you pass an exam, it's not a scholarship that where people have to pay for you to go to school.
Who is paying for it?
It's taxpayer fund the school. That's all I'm saying. So before me get cut, taxpayer fund is the public school. Public school children should not be doing work for private corporation while they are in school or going to school and doing the same. Like I play football at school, then he might play one game now, then he might play 4 games, then he might play some other things. I burn out the youth them. That's why other people find some radio station can criticize them and say, oh yeah, them good when they are 50.
Yeah, you're gone. Gunners boss, listen, calm down, man. Calm down.
I'm angry. As a father of 5 children and 8 grandchildren, so far, I am angry with this child labor thing where these big professional sports team have these kids playing football for free. Pay them if no one them to play. I don't care what them
number one.
Pay them. Not tell them to play for free and send them back.
So number one, who told you that the player is playing for free?
I hear that many times. You know how much time I bring up this panel?
I'm asking you a question.
Let me ask the question.
Because you're hold on, man. Listen. Here's the thing. You cannot come on the forum and tell me what you're hearing on other forum. The question I'm asking you has to do with what was said on this forum. And this,
I hear that. Let
me finish what I'm saying, and then I'll allow you to speak. On this forum today, we mentioned 15-year-old. I said the youngest to have played is 14 years old in Junior Fleming. Now, your initial statement had nothing to do with any money being paid. You said it is criminal. I asked the people, hold on, I'm going to let you talk, I asked the people in the comment section, and they all said nothing is wrong. If the 15-year-old is good enough, let them play. Then you brought up about the injury, the big men and 39, 40-year-olds. I said, listen, that don't happen in our league. Now you're bringing in a different thing. You're saying that if they're not being paid. So your issue is, if the 15-year-old is getting money, they should play with the big men.
Hey, watch this now. Because if him start get money now, he becomes a professional. He's not a student athlete anymore. So now you're paying him to play for your club. No, I don't see no school youth in none of these countries go to school, public school, and none of these colleges and universities jumping from the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, and none of these things back to school to and from. No, you get an education and you develop a career there and you move on to the pros. It is criminal what the professional, regardless of how you want to put it, whether they get paid or not, it is criminal to have 15-year-old playing professional soccer in Jamaica for free, especially for free. When I cannot take my 15-year-old son and say, come go sell some food with me at market. I don't go to school or go to school or left school and come sell with me. It's your fun where them say it's child stable. So why the minister of sports? This is the minister of sports job now, you know. Yeah, this is what them supposed to do. Regulate it as these stuff. Don't have these messing them up from early playing football with grown men to injure them and burn them out and mess up their career from early. That's what I said, and nobody have to agree with me. Everybody can say it is okay because who don't love youth? That football don't love. Me love the youth them more than how me love football because there's more to them than football.
All right, Gunners boss. So your point is I want to make sure that the people understand you clearly and I understand you clearly. A 15-year-old, right? And again, you're not talking about all professional sport. So they can play cricket, but you're talking about the football in particular.
Let me say this again, because I want to put the word in my mind. It is criminal for 15-year-olds to play professional sports, especially while them going to school and the taxpayers die. And that's something deeper or louder. It's criminal. If you want them to play, all right, then they are not collegiate or student anymore. So they are professional. Put them in their unit, give them that good. I'm them just like how you have here, LeBron James.
Okay. So now, let me, because we want to make sure that everybody understands. So what you're saying, if a 15-year-old is good enough to play in your professional club, take the 15-year-old out of school and pay them.
Then if you want in service.
No, man, I am asking you. So your answer is yes to that. So that yes, means then.
Pay him, I'm paying to pay because him that would pay. So you make some hold you make sure you have some.
Mercy. So, but me get that already, you're going over it. Me get that already. We're on the same page now, So let's go on again and answer this. Because we're on the same page, So the second question is that if the club is paying this 15-year-old, you don't have any problem.
As long as he's not going to school and he's not playing football in school, he's just dedicating his time to the club. So
I see what you mean. So you're saying then, the next point you're making is that if a club is paying you to play, you should not be playing high school football.
No.
Okay.
Train him at the club, keep him at the club, train him at the club and make him play football. At the club, I'm paying him so he can go home and take care of something to grow up to be a man and have some useful value. So teach them to come play football too, and then go play at this school, and then he might have to come into the
so you'd prefer if that 19-year-old stays in school in Jamaica and play all of his foot. No, 19. Let me finish now. Because remember, it's high school we're talking about. So up to 19 kids are in school in Jamaica. If you're born, for example, from September the 1st to December, you can be in high school up until you're 19. All right? It's not a strange thing. There are many players who played in the season. So these players should not play any professional football, play high school football, and then after 19 now they leave high school and they try to go pro.
But you know what? Which age you graduate high school in Jamaica?
Which age you graduate?
High school in Jamaica.
I mean, it depends.
Me just ask.
I would say the standard. I would say the standard age is around 18. That probably the standard age, but because some kids, like I just explained to you, some kids are born later in the year.
If you are not 190 and you still want to go back to school after you graduate to go play football, you're worthless. You should even bother playing a football, but pursue something else.
So you're saying that a 19-year-old should not be in school?
Then a school I play with football in a high school. College him supposed to go.
All right. Yeah, I think.
When you're doing hanging around, taking up the 16 and the 17 and the 15-year-old, that's him up to school.
So what age high school? What age you leave high school in the States? In Philadelphia, where you're at?
You know, they are Philadelphia, brother. I tell you, I not give location and you stop it all the while you do them things and talk about this. Go on, stop it. Stop me then of the world, man. Me dey on a cell phone and talk to you. I can be anywhere in the world.
In the place in the world where you're at.
You know what's right?
Lord have mercy.
Talk to you now, and up St. Andrew, me dey talk.
All right, you're the
now,
upper St. You're up in St. Andrew talking to me. When you happen, when you happen. When you happen to be in other places in the world, in those other places that you are, wherever those places are, what age do kids leave high school?
18.
18.
18. My daughter is 17 now. She have her final year high school.
So you're saying that if now, right, at 17, right, if Waterhouse Tumbleweed says, listen, we have a big meet here, a fast athlete to your daughter. Come and do a race for us. You said that she'd have to leave high school to do that, right? And they would pay her. I'm just.
She can't do that under your roof. I can't agree with that.
So she can't do that under your roof. Okay, all right.
Not under my roof, you know, because I'm hungry and I want a little money, you know. I'm broke hungry and I want a little money if you you know. But you're going to lose her ability to move on to college now and pursue the same thing as a student athlete because me did take a money so me commit a fraud.
Okay, all right. I think sometimes because you have some awareness of American culture, I think you use that sometimes to measure the Jamaican system, and they are similar, quote unquote, but they are not the same. You ever hear Jamaican? You ever hear people say same difference? It is. There are similarities but differences. All right.
It's not doing their job. It's a job should have been to make rules and police the rules and see the rules so people don't commit these kind of fraud and these kind of things. But that's not what them do.
But people,
they're more interested in the game more than game. I take the rules stand up for the game.
All right. So what I'm going to do, Gunners Boss, because there are a lot of comments. I mean, just people giving their different. So I want you to go in there and look because there are many examples, you know, of players. While what I think what some people may agree with you is this: if a 15-year-old is good enough and they are signed by, say, Arsenal may not send them back to high school. They may have private tutors to work with them. I think people can agree with that. But that was not your initial statement. Your initial statement is that it is criminal for a 15-year-old. And you went on to speak about playing against big grown amen kind of a thing. All right?
Did I say that word? Did I use the A word?
Eh?
I say that? I mean, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Hey, it's all right. It's all right, man.
When it comes
yeah.
kids, you see, when it comes to these kids, you know me, you know, because me and the man will drop the F-bomb on the radio already. You know, so sometimes when me get emotional, I may talk about, especially the kids, them, you know, I may defend my thing, you know, me say some things, right? So yeah, if me did say that, if I use that A word, my apologies. But you know, again, this is not FCC regulated, so you can be yourself here. That's why we have these forums where a person can be themselves.
Yeah, man. That's fine. No, man. That's fine. I'm saying. All I'm saying is though is that. So, do you know that a 15-year-old playing in the street is at more risk than playing in a competition? More risk of being hurt than if he were playing in a competition with referees. So I want you to bear that in mind. But I want to thank you for calling in. You made some very good point, and I mean, keep on listening and subscribing. And getting others to subscribe and supporting the work. Yeah, man.
Subscribing. and subscribing to what you have. Some more podcasts coming
No,
on
man.
on the
I made a mistake, man. Mistake, man. I mean, keep
Well,
on supporting the work.
I stay subscribed here before you have a show, and I will be here even when it ends. Because you see, nobody not disrespect me over here, you know. And the people in the comment section, me like the fire wanna bring, and that's why we do this. We do this for the fire, and we do this for the challenge, respectfully challenging each other's opinion. No disrespect to anyone, and I just saw it and gone. Make somebody else and I'm here listening.
All right, cool, Gunners boss. All right, that's Gunners boss. He is not in any physical or geographical location. He is on his cell phone. Don't know if he's standing or he's sitting, but he's on it. All right, but very interesting thought. Paper plate is saying that we graduate at 16, 17. But if you go sixth form, 18, 19, but you could, I mean, I'm saying it vary, you know, because there are kids who repeat like first form or repeat second form. And that way you stay longer in the system. And sometimes it depends on what age you come, because one child comes in at 11 in first form, and next child comes in at 13. I don't have a problem with a 15-year-old playing in the league. But of course, there should be insurance and all of that, because I see that as an opportunity, especially in a small market like Jamaica, for that 15-year-old to probably expose themselves to scouts and all of those things to move into bigger markets. What I agree with the caller though is what I agree with the caller is though is simply this, that if you use a 15-year-old, there should be some sort of compensation, meaning the club probably assists with his schooling to get him through school. All right, that I can agree with, but sometimes it's hard to take certain positions in Jamaica, though it is applicable in certain other jurisdiction, because our context is so different, and everything probably we need to look at, you know, the context of Jamaica. And I think that is it sometimes. I think sometimes they want to transfer everything from one place into another. Okay, I mean, get a paper place, and that's not the average year to manage. 18-year-old graduating high school is not common. Okay. All right. Leighton Steele says, man, do you think the JPL should be exclusively an under 23 league? I've heard that proposal before. What do you think? All right, here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with this. Like, if you made the age limit for the JPL 23, what are you going to do with, because remember, not everybody who plays football is going to go to Europe. You're saying that a player who is 24, who may not get into Europe, should not play at the top league, though is better than the under 23s. I don't agree with that. I think what should happen is that there should be, in every squad, there probably should be, you don't like this word, a quota in certain age groups. That I would agree with, because Andrew Vanzi has been a good player in the league. He's up in his 20s. A man have to earn. You're going to say to him, you can't play anymore, though you're good, you're all of this. And what happened? How does this is his livelihood. I cannot deny people's livelihood. Development is good, but not at the expense of destroying people's livelihood. However, I do agree that there should be something in the construct of our football that facilitates, and every team players in certain age brackets. That's my thought, Leighton Steele. But I mean, Dennis Steele has kept for the national team. He's 28. You're going to tell him that he have to be out of the league. Kevin Isaacs, I think he's 25. He has played for Jamaica. Oh, you can't play in the league anymore. There are players who are going to also go overseas and come back because they never. Yeah, I would find that hard to accept. That's just me. The charts JA says in Germany, you can't go pro until you're 16, 17. Okay, there. See all of this good information. Oh, 18-year-old is the norm for graduating high school in the States. Yeah, then Mad Vibe says we don't have a first row developmental system. JA doesn't have anything close to NCAA. Some players are simply too good for schoolboy football, so JPL is the next best step. There you go. There you go. Yep. So some very good points. Some very good points. It's an interesting conversation. Either way, listen, I watch the JPL because I don't want anybody to be telling me about players. I want to see them. I want to see them myself to be able to make my own assessment of them. Right? Yeah, yes, a brain drain. Jamaican definition of dunce and fool is that they strongly disagree with you. Yeah. Yeah, but the truth that uh, we have to, and even for me, I have to learn that. I have to learn. I have to learn, and this is something all of us have to do. That how do we respond in disagreements? We can respectfully disagree, and you know what? Don't fight the person, fight the argument. So say to the person, listen, your argument is fool. Your argument don't make any sense. That's a dunce argument. Always point your criticism to the argument and not to the person. I want to teach all of us something. Too often when we're having conversation, we start saying, you are idiot, you don't know where your chat say you're dunce, you don't go to high school, you never graduate, you don't know nothing, where you come from. And instead of using those references to the argument, we use the references to the person. All right? That's one way we can better the conversation. Somebody said Freddie Adu went, Brain Drain said Freddie Adu went pro at 16. Oh boy, Brain Drain. Oh yeah, Freddie Adu. You know what? Someone said this to me recently that a lot of times Jamaican compare us with what is happening in Africa, and then they said to me, do you know that a lot of the people you see in Africa, the ages are wrong? When you hear them say them are 15, some of them are all 20. I don't know. That's what I heard, but I don't even know if it is true. But people have all kind of crazy things. The youth should be playing in a U20 club. In a U20 clubs should encourage them to get a trade, or college or academy. The football not pay enough in Jamaica. They have to supplement their income. Yeah. Good point, Warren Webster. Which team from lower leagues do you think still will join the JPL next year? Listen, I kind of a different. Listen, one of the things I agree with that I see them doing is that you have to meet certain criterias. I think we have to challenge the clubs to have better things in place. So I would say to people, listen, here's what I would do. I would say, people, we are inviting 2 teams into the Premier League for the 2022-2023 season. Here are the criterias. Submit and if you get 20 teams, you let them play. But they have to meet all of the marks. That's what I would do. And say, listen, you find one from every parish, and those 14 teams play off to bring in the 2 teams. That's me. But you have to have certain standards under which team enter the league. Rob Smith says, man, we are Jamaican. We don't argue. We war. Oh, geez. We have to stop though, Rob Smith. We can't continue like that. We can't. We have to stop. We have to stop. We have to stop. We have to stop. We can't continue like that. It's up to grown men in the JPL to play these players hard, but also realize that they are the future. So keep it fair play and don't make your tackles personal. Nobody I try broke 40 foot. Yeah. But to be fair to the league, I mean, there's a time when I dread watching football because some of the tackles and the licks, you to hear them. I mean, I must say that the league has gotten better in terms of that. Richard King don't have birth paper. He could be 20. No, man. The man bird paper was dealt with, man. Come on, Rob Smith. Do better than that. Don't do that to the youth, man. The man bird paper was sorted out. Couple of years in the matter of having the best young players play against older men. Look at the results. Yep, good point again. Very good point today. Any Mannings, what you think about the speedy striker from Arnett? Do you think he can be in the national colours soon? I think he's a good prospect. We need to continue looking at him. He needs to be more clinical. His touch can be off, but good player. He's one of those who have been looking well so far this season. True. And will explain why Nigeria wins under 17 all the time and not under 20 and older competition. So I don't know if it is true or brain drain, but I've heard it that in Africa, and it's because of how some of the births are done. A lot of the kids are not registered. So that is the issue. I don't know. I don't know. Some African ballers do age fraud. I remember in high school in Canada, there was a youth in basketball that was actually 30. Can't even call him youth. Man, dominate. You sure about this mad vibes? Or you just give me some joke? Duki has coached a third of the team in the league. There was no history in the league today. The youngest player to play in the JPL was Junior Fleming at 14. That I remember when he played for Tivoli Gardens. Thank you, Warren Webster. Porter just received an African. Release an African for lying about his age. Yeah, man. What happened to Veer? I understand that some of the Veer players are not vaccinated. They're not vaccinated. So that could be the reason why some of them were not available. That's what the news is. Yeah, man. The man was 30. Well, you are telling me that the man was 30 years old. 30 years old, man, in high school. Hold on, what did you say? High school? African baller. The age fraud. Oh, you didn't say it. Oh, I remember in high school. So you're telling me that a 30-year-old in high school and, and nobody don't realize? My advice, no, I'm not saying you're lying. But you know that one is hard to receive. Oh, look at this. A lot of Africans do not get drafted by the NBA because their age are in question and therefore no upside. Yeah. So here's what I know, right? And when I did my interview earlier this year with Castus about with Dr. Paul Wright about Castus Semenya and some of the other African runners, I understand that in a lot of these African countries, because of how the births are done at home and with midwives, a lot of these kids don't get formally registered until like 10 and 15 years. And so sometimes, in fact, I understand, don't know if this is so, that the birth certificate has the date when they are registered and not the date when they are born. I don't know, so I'm going to have to leave that alone. My name is Google 30-year-old high school basketball. All right, I'll go check it out when I'm finished. My advice. I'll go check it out and then the next show we talk about it. Travis, bless up, Westman, right? I am sure sports, the youngest player to play in the league was Drian McNean of Reno. He was 13 years old when it was Jerry. 13? Whoa. Whoa. I didn't know that. You see, I thought it was Junior Fleming at 14, but here, you see? And since what did the man did here? Because the man come coach Charlie Mountain and you lose the job, you just a fight the man, bro. Eh? When I was in high school, you some bearded overage players and was banned winning take priority over development of our youth. So they were banned for that. I need to find that out, Warren Webster. I need to check that out. Listen, make sure it's true, you know. Yeah. Man, when you're in America, you never heard about this. No, man, I know, man. Our topic. What I'm saying, I've not experienced, but I know that they do. I know that it is. I know of an experience in Jamaica, but I'm not going to. And this was when I was playing youth football. It's a person from the school that Brain Drain attended. And what I heard is, and this is what the story is. You know, if you have a sibling that, a lot of times when people have sibling that die young, like if you have a sibling that die at 5 years old and you're 10, and they're the same sex, they will use the birth certificate of the past sibling to play in certain CASAFA competition. Back in the days, I don't know if those things can happen again. Yeah, man. Isn't this giant from Mannings? Used to play for Mannings. Yeah. I know a Jamaican many years ago with went to Calabar Bridge. I wonder if it's the same person that I know. In Bridge is the same person that I know Bridge. I'm not gonna call his name, but I know somebody that this thing was big about, about his age. I remember playing against him. Like this was a big man playing under 12, and I heard, but I don't know. But you know what? He eventually stopped playing football because of a figure, you know. Where people get these things? Like, where somebody get these things? No, it says, on another note, recently heard that Michael Clark, the great T&T head coach at Calabar, has track and field, has retired, apparently facing some health issues. Whoa, that's Sukul Clark's father, Michael Clark. Yeah, man, definitely. Where did man get this? 21-year-old played Manning Cup 1995. Like, where you get some of these things? So many times, people, is not everything you hear you must believe, you know. Is not everything you hear you must believe. People say all kind of things when they lose, right? But it's a brain drain. Calabar never cheats. It's a you know what? The best young player in the league. Lord, who has stood out? To me, the player that I think has really stood out so far in the league is, I would have to go with, I would say Daniel Green is to me, and he's 23. He is one of the better players I've seen so far. On the young side, like 25 and under. I'm trying to go through. There are some good players, but in terms of consistency, I don't know. I don't think Busy is having the best season, in my honest opinion. As yet, season is still early though. It's not their fault, though. Documentation is not always good in Africa. Every man want to food, Mama Africa, jeez. So bless him. Man, them 45. And I mad vibes with the jokes. No fight man, but look out at it. I'm just talking the truth. I ain't fighting a soul. All right, I'd see it. All right. There's a story out right now. Another African baller and his birth certificate was born 5 years after his mom died. Yes. Yeah. What is this now? Busy. Like I said, I think Busy is a good footballer, but I don't think he has been having the best of season. He won a Brown. Listen, people. keep your eyes on this guy. I think that at the end of the season, he's going to be out of Jamaica. I don't know where he's going to go, but he's going to be out of Jamaica. Warner Brown. He's going to be out of Jamaica. He is a good young prospect. I don't Fresh God, what is Warner Brown's age? What is Warner Brown's age? Good looking young baller. Played for stats and thing. You know. Yeah. Yep. What's his age? I'm not even sure what his age is. I need to figure out what his age is. Somebody can probably tell me what his age is. But Daniel Green I think Daniel Green is around 23. Reggie Boo, how old are you? Daniel Green. Jamaica football, Daniel Green. Daniel Michael Green, he was born in 1997. That sounds like he's around 25. Or going to be 25. Wow, Green is the best winger in the league, hands down. Okay, there you go. So I'm not way off. I am just saying this whenever he's losing, his interviews make us lose sight at the performance. That's a good coach, man. Take the performance. Think he's 25. Could be wrong. Warner Brown is what? 20. Oh, you're asking for a player 21 and under? I can't say I've seen a player 21 and under who has really. I'm trying to go through 21 and under who has really stood out. I don't know if there are any standouts so far. I have to watch some more. Maybe somebody else has seen them. Yeah. There's a lot of them. Oh, Warner Brown is 18. Yeah. He's a good player, man. He's definitely a good player. I think he has 4 goals so far. So we have around 3 minutes to go. So, I mean, you guys have been really, really good. A lot of insightful comments and thoughts. Really appreciate the valid input. Tomorrow we're going to do some Reggae Girls, a Reggae Girl program. We're going to have Crystal. Listen, people, we have to do better, you know. Come on, man. Hit the like button, man. I want to see someone. Come on, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. I'm about to close. We're going to have a former Reggae Girl, captain, now a coach. She's going to be on the program tomorrow. Yeah. With us. We're going to also have Crystal from Talawa TV with us tomorrow as well. So please make sure you come on as we talk some Reggae Girls football. We have around, like I said, 3 minutes to go. So, yep. Yeah. One person saying that Warner Brown is 18. Somebody saying he's 21. Are you sure? Unseen? It's 21. Are you sure? What time tomorrow? Tomorrow we have at 1:30 we have an Alicia Dredd Wilson will be on. As you know, she coaches at Navarra College as well. Former Reggae Girls captain, she's going to be on, and Crystal is going to be on. We start at 1:30 tomorrow, but we should be having an interview with a legend. Yep. At 11 in the morning as usual. Yep. 1 minute to go. All right, so make sure you remember to tell your lady Happy Valentine's Day. If you have not gotten her a rose, just sing her a song. Say Rosie, 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 Rose, Rosie, Rosie, Rose, Rosie, 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 Rose, Rosie, Rosie, Rose, Rose. She know I need my dumpling now, but you want be real. You understand? Make sure you sing something for her. I don't know what you're gonna sing. Yep. Yeah, so Make sure you do something nice for the lady in your life. You know, man like Unseen can come on the stream because he's with his girl dreaming. You must be dreaming. Unseen can't even come on the scene cause him lying right beside him lady Carleen. Or is it Charlene? Anyway, people, thanks for joining. Thanks for being with me for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I am Manning's Man, and this has been another episode of I Am Sure Sports. So thank you all for the super chats. Thank you for all the comments, for all the questions, for all the persons who called in. Thank you so, so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the evening, and join us tomorrow when we will be on again on I Am Sure Sports. We leave you with a word from our sponsors, Trick Nick.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.